Now, good morning everybody. Once again, thank you very much everybody for commenting and watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. You know, I love making these videos, man, and I like putting them up for you all to watch. So everybody, thank you very much indeed. Awesome. We're a great bunch, I must say. Thank you. Today we're going to talk about a book. Yes, one of my favorite books, in fact maybe even possibly my favorite book of all time, is Trainspotting by Irvine Welsh. Now this is the second edition. The first one came out in 1993. This is 1994's edition. This is one I got. I remember looking at the top 10 books in Waterstones, and Trainspotting had been #1 for like months and months and months, and I thought, what on earth is it? What on earth can this book be? Trainspotting, what is it? So I was in Waterstones one day and I picked up this copy, and I started just flicking through. I thought, what on earth is this? And of course, me being me, I had to have this. I just had to have it, man. So it's kind of hard to explain what it is. It basically sets around 4 guys: Renton, Spud, Sick Boy, and of course Begbie. Now they're all mates in Edinburgh in the mid 80s, 90s kind of thing, and most of them are smackheads into heroin and all sorts of drugs. And it's just about their life. It's very, very gritty. It made me laugh out loud. I've never laughed so much at a book in my life, and it also made me cry. A lot of pathos in this. Very, very gritty though, I must say. Now I remember opening this up and I was sitting on the settee in my house and I started reading it, and I thought, oh my goodness me, what on earth is this all about? It was written in the Scottish vernacular, the way Scots speak, especially in Edinburgh. And it took me maybe, 6 or 7 pages to actually get into the hang of the way it was written, the rhythm, the speech patterns, and the way they spoke. It is a most unusual book, but once you get into it, there's no letting go. I had to read this in about 3 sittings, I think. I just couldn't put it down, man. It's awesome. So the stories are basically just little snippets. There's about, maybe 20 stories, short stories in here. Yeah, and they're all just based around the same characters. What Irvine Welsh does really well is he'll introduce you to a couple of characters and you'll read about them, and then he'll go somewhere else and have another story about somebody else, and they'll be in the pub, but the characters from the previous story will be sitting in the pub kind of thing. So all their lives interact and they mingle and they always bump into each other, and it's it's a whole world that he has created, and they're all very, very realistic and lovable characters in here, I must say, even though they've all got faults and some of them are actually really horrible. But you know what, at the end of the day, they're all mates, they all stick together. It's a book about loyalty, really. That's what it is. And the book is actually quite poetic as well. There are some fantastic little passages in the book. I've actually underlined some of them just very briefly. He's going about his heroin withdrawal, and he says, I'm not sick yet, but it's in the fucking post, that's for sure. I love that expression, it's in the post, And there's another one here I've underlined for some reason. My dry, cracking bones are soothed and liquefied by my beautiful heroine's tender caress. There's some more. An expression I really liked was superstar wasted junkies. Oh man, I mean, the book's just full of quotable quotes, and passages and bits and pieces. Wonderful. And of course, you've all seen the movie. Well, I'm assuming you've all seen the movie. The book is maybe better. I mean, the movie is probably one of my favourite movies as it stands on its own. Compared to the book, it's a lot more glamorised, obviously, but the book, I think, is a better thing. As an overall thing, it's better. I just, the two are really good. They're both really good. The film manages to convey almost what the book's about, but you have to read the book, man. So ladies and gentlemen, I give you the wonderful, my favourite book of all time, Trainspotting. Thank you.
Jog is sleeping. He's on for the next sleep.
Okay folks, it is now 6:15, time to go back to work, but look what arrived in the post today. Oh, get in! Rum, Sodomy and the Lash classic album. Again, this is in the top 20 of Jag's favourite albums. It's the Pogues, of course, Shane MacGowan and his merry band of Brigandiers and Buccaneers and all sorts of weird and wonderful tunes and sounds on this thing, man. It's brilliant. Irish music at its best, I must say. The Sickbed of Cochraline, The Old Main Drag, Wildcats of Kilkenny, I'm a Man You Don't Meet Every Day, A Pair of Brown Eyes. I mean, they're all classics. Dirty Old Town, Jesse James. Goodness me, they're all there, man. Now, I was in a band back in the late 80s called the Zeds, acoustic kind of band, and we covered loads of these tunes on here. Jesse James was a man that killed many a man. He was a grandeur. And Dirty Old Town. Oh, mate, they're all there. The band played Waltzing Matilda, Waltzing Matilda. They're all there, mate. I'll tell you. Sally McLaren. And for Sally McLaren. And the pipes. Oh, mate, there we go. And it was produced, of course, by Elvis Costello. And there we go. Brilliant. Love it. Right, I'm going to stick it on. I better not play any more music, so I was forgetting. Grandad is an old man mentioned it that I might get done for copyright claims again, so we can't have any of that after all my shenanigans and what's going on. And even the cover is just excellent. It's just, you know, they're all lying around, and Shane MacGowan is just lying around there, and he's got shades on and everything. It's just brilliant. The whole concept is just amazing. I love it. The songs on there are just ripping yarns. That's what they are, man. They are ripping yarns of songs, and there's a couple of slower ones in there, but even they are just, you can hear them slugging their gin and their whiskey as they're throwing it back and getting stuck in. There's all sorts of instruments on here, the mandolins and the guitars and the penny whistles and the accordions and the, you know, it's all there, mate. It's an absolute gallivanting, rum-sodden lash off an album, and it's just got a brilliant title, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is Rum Sodomy in the Lash. Thank you very much. Right, folks, around the back again. We're on the steps this time. Now, I have a couple of examples here of a fantastic larch tree. We've got a couple of them over there. There's one that's actually teetering over pretty precariously. That one just there, it's been slowly bending over for a while. I think it's going to fall eventually, but there it is, the larch tree. Now, these were kind of planted in southern Perthshire in the 17th, 18th century, and they've since taken a hold, and they seem to pop up everywhere. And what's unusual about it is that it is a coniferous tree, but it loses its leaves every winter, so it's quite unusual, because conifers always keep their leaves, but this one is actually partly deciduous as well. There we go, look at that, the larch tree, fantastic. And there's a couple over here as well. There's two there. Thank you.